Shut up, bitch. Sorry, it's the element of I chose you over it. I didn't know it. I know you. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are back with some more Xam'd Lost Memories. Once again, thank you to Yuki Ali for sponsoring these, always a pleasure. As usual though, we come back with notes and a board, so let's go ahead and hit up that board first thing. Alright, with the board comes the board changelog, where I added Kujirika, I tied Shidra to Kanba, and Kakiso with a white line. I connected Shidra to Furuichi with a red line and changed the white line to Haru to red, then marked Shidra as dead. And just as a note, I'm going to have to remake the board before next month. It definitely needs more room for lines. Didn't have enough time this month.
Kujirika. I was looking for Kujirika. It was like, where is it? Oh, it's a blank space over here.
Because as far as I know, we've never seen them, but I have a note about that.
Yeah, he gets, well, I don't know who they are, gets name dropped by Tessic. So.
Well, that's a weird way to say that.
Sagen, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, he is a Tessic. I mean, that's a weird way to have labeled him now that, we know what that word means, but there's a number of Tessic on the board, so.
And of course, Shidara.
Because we got what? Sunaba, Nezumi, Kanba, Zygand, Nakayami. I suspect maybe Ishu, and maybe even Kikisu, maybe Tessic.
Kanba.
Tension.
You mentioned Kanba already, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just put it in your head that I may have already mentioned anyone with face shit on their... Yes, I was about to say with face shit on their face. I realized that's why I stopped. I allow myself to introduce myself.
Yes. So, yeah, on the board, I think the one thing that... Well, I guess you're right, because our first reaction was, why Shidara red with Haru and Furishi, but then she turned into human form weapon, tried to kill Furishi, and smacked Haru aside.
She didn't run from them.
So, yeah, that would... Huh?
She didn't run from them.
No, try to kill them.
Oh, I heard you say try to run from them, and I thought you were talking about the scene where she turns into a human form weapon, because you didn't immediately went to that scene in your description. Because she didn't try to kill them before she turned into a human form weapon. She tried to kill them as the human form weapon. So you're bringing it up before she turned. It's just confusing in my mind.
What I said was that she turned to human form weapon, smacked Haru aside, then tried to kill.
I think there's an element of this me screwing up now. I'll be honest, I was looking at this and thinking, can I use that as a prop? This shit's nuts. And I may have tuned you out for half a second, and that's when you said the thing that was confusing to me. It's like, oh no.
And they tried Furuishi, and then the power armor dudes showed up and defeated her. And then the guy shot him.
Kikisu
not the guy.
Defeated her.
Yeah. Kikisu showed up and shot her to pieces, and that was...
Well, he shot her a couple times.
Yeah.
I think to pieces has a... Like, watching RoboCop, you would say those people got shot to pieces.
Yeah.
This was just like a couple of shots that knocked her down, and then she was unable to move.
It's
and he's
giblets, right? It's giblets, yeah. Not giblets. It's giblets.
Here's the problem: is I know what you're referring to, but I haven't heard the word said in such a long time that I no longer know.
Or care, for that matter. Not that important.
Well, I don't think I've ever eaten any, so...
Do I?
Well, I mean, it's a part of a chicken. I'm assuming it's an edible part, as most chicken is.
Yes.
And if it's not by itself, you just shred it up and add it with other stuff, and that's how hot dogs are made.
And chicken nuggets.
Well, depends on where you're getting them. I don't think that pink glue that McDonald's has is made from chicken.
Or anything. Apparently it's edible. Won't kill you right away, but...
Sorry, I'm just thinking back to the Willy Wonka thing. These people are edible, really. You just don't do it.
We discourage that.
All right, well, if you're done with the board, then on to notes.
I do not have that many notes. I'm sure you have probably 2 or 3 times as many notes that I have. I have a lot of questions, though.
I mean, I have a problem is my notes are like sentences and not so much deep dives into the world building.
I just have a lot of Q's and no P's. Just questions.
Well, that's
going to
be a problem.
questions.
So it's going to be
Yeah.
Also,
Pretty
that's
much.
the game changer, right? If you had a keyboard with only P's, sell it to me.
So let me start with my first question. So keeping the illusion of the island's independence is important to the commander. The question is why? Maybe I missed something before. Again, for clarification, this is the first time I actually start taking notes on Sam. So people who have been taking track know this, but people who might just be jumping into this episode, like, doesn't he know this? This is like the first episode. Isn't he watching the show? It's like, yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's been implied before. I think it's an element that this is a disputed region, and also this is a island that was recently attacked. So maybe encouraging. Look, you said independence. My first note is so the Sentin Island Free Zone HQ is now known as the Far East Autonomy for reasons of encouraging self-reliance. And I would say self-reliance is different from independence. You can be not independent from the mother country, but you can still be self-reliant.
Borderline, because
not being independent means that they still have authority over you. If they show up, they expect obedience. Versus being self-reliant means that you don't need to rely on them for whatever it is that they're supposed to be supplying you. But, if you're not independent, then you still cowtail to them. And not for nothing, they are flying their fleet overhead, so...
Yeah.
So again, encouraging self-reliance might be an element of future military strategy. Maybe. That we're pulling out of this region to fight in that other war zone that we have already mentioned last episode. And that we need you to be self-reliant, even though we still don't want to give up this territory. Or, again, it might be a versus, not rebellion, but insurrection. You just got attacked. A lot of your people died. We're trying to rebuild the area. The last thing we want is you guys to turn on us. So we're going to encourage self-reliance rather than responsibility from the mother country.
Autonomy versus independence.
Well, I mean, that's the point of our discussion. I don't think it's essentially the point that they're making. Because, again, they're pointing towards self-reliance. They're not indicating independence.
Yeah.
They don't want, if what we're saying, or what I'm saying anyway, is to be believed, they're not wanting them to think about independence. So.
Still, that's, I raised the question because who was saying that that was Tohiro Kakikazu who said that. And I was like, it's interesting turn of phrase because he's supposed to be from here. That's one of the reasons why he was
supposed to be from here.
Yeah.
Seeming doubtful.
Yeah.
Well, he's talking about the rain, as though he's unfamiliar with how it rains around here.
Yeah. Although everybody seems to be complaining about the rain, even the people who live there, like the kids were like, yeah, it rains raining a lot lately.
Anyway, I read my note in response to your note.
Oh, okay. I thought that was just your statement. So
no, I made a statement, but I said that the Sentin Island Free Zone getting renamed to the Far East Autonomy was my first note, and that's the one I referred to encouraging self-reliance, thus the self-reliance versus independence, because independence was part of your note.
My second note, very short. Shidara is still off the deep end, I see.
What? No? Do you have no sympathy?
I have sympathy for her.
Her parents died. Her home was destroyed. She's not off the deep end. She's like in the depths of depression and nowhere to turn.
And affected for whatever, because she, I think, also got hit by the goo as well, I think.
I mean, it seemed like it, but it didn't seem to matter at the end of the day. Because Kanba does his whole thing to her, so if she was hit by it, there was no development that came of it, because whatever he did then.
So, yeah, that's a bit confusing there.
It's interesting that Akiyuki is doing business under a sign that says Scrivener, but instead of handling any sort of legal documents, he's just transcribing letters for people, which I guess if your work is as a mail delivery service, then creating letters that need to be sent sort of just doubles your business.
Well, I have my next notice about that, so I wanted to with that. Actually, you job at the port is to translate the letters people are sending. I'm guessing that he's doing that what he's doing since the script he's writing is not in kanji katakana as a signage in the port.
I
in
disagree. Not on your point about the languages being different. I think what he's doing is writing letters for people who can't read or write.
Well, I mean, they can't read or write on that language, so they're.
Well, I mean, that would be your point, but I don't see any indication that that's what's happening. It just seems like they're dictating to him, which, to be fair, would be what a scrivener does. But a scrivener would be handling legal documents, and these just seem like people who are trying to get letters sent.
Except none of the people on sitting beside him are saying anything. They don't say anything to him. Like they're not dictating.
They could have dictated already. I know the element that you're going to say is that, he should be writing it as they say it. Well, maybe they said it all, and then he's just writing it from memory. Remember, this is supposed to be part of his Xam'd training. So the element of memorization could be part of the Xam'd training. Remember who you are. Remember this. Remember that. Hell, the show's called Lost Memories. I don't feel like I'm jumping off the deep end on this one.
No. But
because I also have a note about the language around here, because there is some weird shit happening with the language that I noticed. I guess maybe for the first time.
Because I know the intro is in Greek. This language is scribbled on the walls in Greek. And the language that he seems to be using is similar to that. But the signage is clearly kanji or katakana. It could be both. They can get mixed. You actually can mix both of them in the same sentence. And,
maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's an element that I'm watching it in English, but the sign was in English.
No, it's in Japanese. No,
it was
above him.
If it was in, I would say it was in English. That's how I know it says Scrivener, because otherwise I wouldn't have known what it said.
I was listening in English and it looked in Japanese. I don't know.
Oh, that is fucking insane. I don't know. I know that I didn't do my normal thing of taking a screenshot and bringing it to a translation page. It just said Scrivener to me. So I didn't make up the word Scrivener. I, in fact, to double check, looked up what Scrivener meant before I wrote my note.
I don't know.
That's why I know a Scrivener deals with legal documents and not specifically just a scribe or something.
Well, to your next note then, because I answer your note with my note.
Well, that's fine. This is my shortest one. Wouldn't be a war is bad story without at least one shredded teddy bear.
Yeah, pretty much. Although it's interesting that, again, I got to remember the names. It's been a while since we watched this. Although I just watched it recently. Furiyoshi says, don't take the doll home, right? Literally, don't take the work home because, you're going to regret it.
Well, that's literally what he's talking about before he mentions the teddy bear when she's picking up. If you're going to let this sit with you forever, and you got to move on. It almost makes me think that maybe the mascot for the channel should be all the destroyed teddy bears we've seen in all the shows, because there's been a lot of them.
Yeah, the broken
toys. A whole variety of teddy bears. Also, teddy bear isn't specifically a copyrighted thing anymore.
No.
Make our own teddy bears. Our own pre-destroyed teddy bears.
Didn't actually Theodore Roosevelt sue for that?
You know what, Lessons? I think we're safe. He's pretty dead right now.
Yeah, I know. The whole story with the why it's called the teddy bear. But anyway, my next note then. The pilot tells the captain that without Nakayami, they will be stranded in the southern port. But why?
I mean, they also say that Yunbo can navigate for them. And to be fair, Yunbo is the navigator, so it would be their job.
So, but if that's the case, then...
Probably because the Tessic have some sort of inborn sense of shit. I don't know. The fact is that she flies around on a aerial scooter, and I don't know if that implies anything.
Again, it gives me...
Presumably, she had the ship before she had Nakayami. So,
that implies that they again, were... Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry. I will stop after this. That implies that they were doing this before they had Nakayami, so I don't know why they would be suddenly lost unless something has changed since Nakayami came on board.
Or they're going places normal navigation doesn't work.
Are you saying where they're going, they don't need roads?
Need roads, yeah. Again, it gives me what I was gonna say Electra, but it's Eureka 7, but also Nakayami reminds me a lot of a Ghibli thing that I'm trying to remember which one, which is not Nadia of the
Nausicaa.
Blue Water. Nausicaa of the Blue Water, yeah.
No, sorry. You mean Nadia, Secret of Blue
Nadia.
Water. I thought
Secret of Water.
also what I was going for was wrong because that's Nausicaa, the Valley of the Wind, and that's not what I meant, although you might have because she also does that.
Yeah.
Castle in the Sky. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, yeah, no, it's Nausicaa of the Blue Wind.
Valley of the Wind.
Oh, the Valley of the Wind, yeah.
It just said. I know it didn't. I don't know why Nadia, the Secret of Blue Water, would have been the thing you were going for.
Because we talk about it a lot, and for a long time, I thought that Nadia of the Blue Water was Nausicaa of the Wind that you were talking about.
Yeah, Nadia, the Secret of Blue Water, not Nadia, the Blue Water. And half the time you bring it up, I think about Blue Gender. Yeah. Thank you for showing an image of the thing I perfectly already knew.
Just so you know.
I guess the confusing bit is it has greenery in the background, and the whole element of Nausicaa, the Valley of the Wind, is basically environmentalism. You know, the advent of technology and the advancement of it ruining the natural habitat in which we share.
Because this is a
I haven't seen this movie, by the way, in 20 fucking years, and I still get this shit in my head.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
It's all right. I mean, it's like top tier of Ghibli movies, but I would put it like in the top 5. It's certainly top 10 material. I was reminded just the other day that Grave of the Fireflies is Ghibli. I didn't think of that. Well, I had convincing our knights to watch a World War II themed anime, and one of them specifically didn't want to watch a Ghibli movie until they had seen one in theaters first. So I was like, well, if you're not going to watch Grave of the Fireflies, by the way, they are going to watch Grave of the Fireflies, but if you're not going to watch Grave of the Fireflies, then watch Barefoot Gen, because that's also a true story from the author themselves about their experiences of having survived in a post-nuke, I think, Hiroshima. And, you know, the difficulty finding food, the having to deal with the American soldiers, and them wanting to not experiment on people, but observe the what happens to people after being exposed to radiation and whatnot, and everyone that they... Yeah, a whole thing. A whole horrible thing.
That was your...
That was your note.
That was my note, okay. Your note then.
Haru asks how many people died in the last air raid, and Furuichi says 1,300, and the number is still rising. To remind, this is a previous note that I had, that's why I have the numbers handy, the news already told us 2,886 dead and injured, and I pointed out that their numbers were 958 military and 397 civilian, which only equaled 1,355. So, at least we are consistent with Furuichi still, but the news numbers still go unexplained.
Missing, perhaps?
You already gave you what you thought the explanation was last time. I'm just bringing it up again because Furuichi's numbers this time at least sort of match the numbers that I was doing the math for last time.
Yeah, round it down there. That makes sense.
Well, no. The point is that it's half the numbers that the news said. The news said a number which matches close to Furuichi's number, but the news also said this many military, this many civilian, which again only equaled to half the numbers.
Next note then. What exactly is an Angora, and what does it have a control ring like the living weapons? The crew member said that Nakayami could see it. Does that mean it's invisible except for the ring?
I'm just going to skip one of my notes real quick to read my note that refers to literally the same exact thing. So something odd about the Angoro is that one of the guys trying to catch it asks Nakayami how she can see it. He's wearing goggles, so I'd assume the goggles are necessary, except that the other guy isn't wearing goggles and was pretty clearly looking at it and trying to grab it. So I got no clue what the surprise is in being able to see it. If I had to hazard a guess, I'd bet that it's something only the ship's crew can see, and that Nakayami used to be a part of the ship's crew, These guys don't know her, so it seems strange to them that she can see it. There's something I came across that I only remember from One Piece, which is Spirit of the Ship sort of thing. It actually has a name, and I don't know what it is anymore because it only happens on like one arc of One Piece, and that's my only experience with it. But I think that maybe that's what this is. Obviously, I don't want to look it up because it would just be fucking spoilers. So,
yeah,
if that is what is meant to imply, then that's what I think it might be. The element that Saigen and Nakayami know each other might be an element that he used to carry her on the ship. Thus, the ship considers her part of the crew. Thus, she can see the thing.
Yeah, I thought that maybe they put a ring on it and they're seeing the ring just wobble around and trying to catch the ring. Not, and by extinction, they would catch it.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that's, if I had to hazard a guess, for all I know, you're right. The dude with the goggles can see the thing and the other dude's looking at a ring. I don't know.
Well, you answered my question, nobody knows, so I'll go to the next one. Oh, and Nakayami should be chief? Is she a lost princess or something?
Well, remember that Nakayami's not her name either.
No, she says something about cutting.
She doesn't say her actual name. Their actual name never comes up. She says
title. She says a title. When she's going aboard the ship, it was like, I said, who are you? And she says something about a title. Something win. And like, oh, okay, go on. I don't know if it was a password or it was her title.
I have a note, I think, about that later on. I'm not on it right now, but sorry, at this point, don't know if I'm disagreeing with you or not. So, I know I've written a note about something like that, but I don't know what it refers to, and I don't want to skip ahead again, because I got a lot between here and there. Oddly, when Kikasu is eating at the mansion, waiting for Ryuzo, the picture behind him is upside down. As the text says, Southern Continent Free Sphere, flipped over. When the shot pans back, the picture behind the desk also seems to be flipped upside down.
Yeah, I noticed that, because I try to read it, and I'm like,
Sorry, I just know I have a future note about the possibility of a lot of the script in the show being upside down. That's to my previous note that you were talking about the languages and whatnot being different. I'll wait till I get there. I don't know. For some reason, I wrote these just last night, and for some reason, I can't remember what I wrote notes about.
My second to last note. Another question: what are the war crimes that Dr. Kamba is talking about?
I mean, we're fucking experimenting on people. What are you talking about? We've literally got evidence of the mother and child human form weapons shielding one another from what was it, a subway station or something?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty clear. This is the Girin will all hang from the gallows for this element. That is, by the way, a Mobile Suit Gundam reference for those of you who are only watching Xam'd and have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. So Zygen's ship carries human mail, and you have to be told that dinner has no human meat in it. Lovely ship. Hope everything bad happens to it. I don't care if they're the last of their people. They are slave traders and apparently cannibals.
No.
Like, I don't care if you're going to come back and tell me, no, they're not cannibals. There was no human meat in it. If you're in a place where you have to be told that before you start eating dinner, you're probably with cannibals.
I don't know. I mean, there's something about the ship. Like, outwardly, I think they seem to protect this sort of gruff and menacing demeanor, but when everybody's inside, it's like, oh yeah, no, everybody, it's like,
because they're among themselves.
Yeah.
You're saying they put out an outwardly, gruff demeanor. Yeah, because everyone else on the outside's not Tessic. Essentially, they're like the last vestiges of Desic wherever they go, but they are still carrying human cargo. And not for nothing, the little human male girl that the guy was like, don't eat that, don't pick up stuff on the ground, eat it. Flour. And what we get at the very end, Nakayami giving Ishu a flower, literally the kind of the same flower.
Yeah, the press.
But it's the same flower as the girl that's picking it up off the ground, meaning that this has some sort of implied notation between these people. So,
it's a sunflower. It's a sunflower.
I don't care. Lessons. It's not so much. No, lessons. The idea here is that if I hand you a rock at a war zone, and then later on, after we've had a fight, I give you the same rock again, the kind of rock doesn't matter. the idea behind the rock. I don't think the flower matters. It is a sunflower. It could have been a rose. It could have been a daisy. Who the fuck cares? I think it's just the symbology behind it. That it's one, this human trafficked girl is holding it up, showing it to a person, and then Nakayami is giving her the same exact flower.
And my last note. I probably could have more, but that's all I wrote.
You could have more. You'll never know.
Yeah, sent a letter to Haru, who doesn't even know that he's alive, and is trying to move past the events of the bombing, but also drawing closer to Nakayami. Classic past-future romantic triangle in the making.
He's trying to get home.
Yes. But the show is setting it up, so like, oh, I'm getting closer to this trainer of mine, you know.
Also, I think it's pretty clear that if you send a message to his dad, there's no telling if his dad would ever get it or acknowledge that he got mail, because we know how he's not absent-minded, he's very distracted. There might be some minor difference there between the two, but he's very clearly knowledgeable and focused on certain things at the cost of other things. And his mother is just always fucking busy. Also, he knows that his area got destroyed, so he might just know that Haru doesn't live in the area that was attacked.
Doesn't seem very important.
I just think we're at the element of the show. It's so early in the show that I don't think we can attribute him writing a note to Haru and trying to help Nakayami as involvement in either. It very clearly to us seems like Haru is interested in Akiyuki, but I don't know that goes both ways.
That was my final note. On to you.
Rukon scriptures apparently have a prophecy about something happening on Staten Island. Same conversation we hear about Sonova surviving, but to be fair, she's one of the first characters we saw in the show, and I don't recall anything happening to make me think that she had died. At the same time, it's implied that the appearance of the Jibarashi means that a different younger woman is controlling the cult. He mentions that they are dawn-haired, and to be fair, the person we have labeled as Sonova has their head wrapped up, so despite being old, could still be younger than this Kujirika person, whom we've never met before, to my knowledge. Either way, she wants to retake the Holy Land, as sowing chaos is a mandate from Sonova, which would seem to be true, given the suicide bombers that we've seen her send out into the world.
But why target this specific island?
It's part of the prophecy.
The prophecy.
Literally, it's what I just... The first line of my note, the Rukon scriptures mention a prophecy that Zaiken seems to imply regards Staten Island.
Yeah, I mean...
It could also be why they want to hold the island, if they also know of some sort of prophecy, and not for nothing, if that prophecy refers to the Heroku, which then become human form weapons, it might be the element of prophecy being truth.
Yeah, but we don't know the wording of the prophecy, so, you know.
It doesn't matter to me.
Prophecy can be it matters because...
No, listen, to clarify before you get on the high horse over there, is that I said it doesn't matter to me. I'm not saying it doesn't matter. Obviously it matters, but I'm saying that I am just speculating at this point, and I'm not invested in the speculation, my own speculation. I'm just trying to speak out loud and see if anything resonates.
I mean, I would, because here's a problem, and the problem with many prophecies. I made the whole back in it. I think I talked to you about this.
Yeah, I once wrote it down. I would one day talk about this. Yes, prophecies, I would say.
The whole, prequel prophecy thing in Star Wars. Like every time they didn't have anything else to do. Remember the prophecy? Yes, a prophecy. Oh, what's the prophecy? Balance of the Force. Balance of the Force. Yes, it's a prophecy. It's like, could somebody just tell me what the prophecy is? Like, nope. It's written somewhere.
What are you talking about? They mention it every time they talk about the prophecy.
Yeah, but don't mention. They
said it'll bring balance to the Force. He's constantly saying it ever since he's a child. Even they don't even talk to him about it. They talk to each other. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. He'll be the one that brings balance to the Force.
And never is explained what the fuck that means.
Well, I mean, everyone knows what balance means. Children are taught what balance means at the playground with the balancing beam.
Yeah, I know, but it's what are the elements that need to be balanced? Why there is a need
the Force. The Force is the element that needs to be balanced.
Why?
Well, nobody cares about the why.
What do you mean nobody
You're
cares about
taught
the
not
why?
to
Is that
ask
one of
why
those?
as a
Are those
child.
one of those
Again, on the
mysteries?
playground, you're taught not to ask why.
Isn't that one of those mysteries you don't want to solve?
No, the mystery is actually nobody. I guess why would be motive in a mystery, but as it turns out, motive is actually not that important to your legal case. It's helpful, but determining what happened is more important than determining why happened. So why is not a valuable piece of information. Why can help
It is
you
if you want.
determine what somebody else will do later, or
It is
make an
if I want to
educated
understand.
guess about what they will do later. But determining the what is always more important.
Yes, but to understand the what, I need to know the why.
You don't. You
Because
don't need to know the why. If you could find out the what without the why, you don't need to know the why. You
but here I
know
need to
the
have the
what.
what
The
or the
what is
why.
bringing balance to the force. You know what
That
the
doesn't
force
mean
is.
anything.
You know what balance means. It's all right there.
Yes,
You
what
could
does
not
help me
write it in
know?
any shorter hand than that.
It's not. It just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense
Balance
to
to the
you
force.
because you don't exist in the Star Wars universe. You're living in the real world. If you
Yes,
lived in
and
the
also
Star Wars
fiction, and
universe,
they
this
should
is the
tell
same
me.
thing we argue about when I talk about living in the world of the tabletop game. You're not in the world. You don't know everything that the character knows from a day-to-day life of having existed in the world. If you did, you might know. Otherwise, it doesn't make
I'm a
sense to
viewer. I need to
you.
understand. I need to understand
You
what the hell's
don't need
going
to
on here.
understand. Literally, you
Yes, I
don't,
do.
because it's never something that the character is actively doing. They're saying, remember the prophecy. Yes. And then he doesn't take any actions regarding the prophecy.
So it's a more point the whole thing about the prophecy, and that's just frustrating. Why
It's a
even bring it
background
up?
element. You're like upset that, oh, he put his coffee down, not on a coaster. Like, oh, what the fuck? You know?
I don't know.
It's a
It's supposed
background
to be
element.
important because it's about
not.
the
It's
main
not
character.
important. It's supposed to be, but it's not. I say it's supposed to
Well,
be only because they built it up. The fact that prophecy is meaningless could be a way to view the entire prophecy point. Is that prophecy is meaningless?
Try to
That
make that point.
the movie is agreeing with you that prophecy is meaningless, and then you're like,
Yeah, the
well, then
movie.
why do I spend so much time on prophecy? And you're like, well, isn't that your point too? It's like, yes, but I don't want the movie doing it for me. I wanted to be on this high horse.
Movie doesn't even bother saying that at all.
It's
That's the problem.
interpretation.
Yeah, there's only so much I can interpret, but you don't give me anything to interpret
Literally,
in the first
there's
place.
only so much you can interpret. Yeah, everything is interpretable.
Only if you give me enough information.
It's like saying there's only so much I can argue about. And it's like, no, at the end of the day, probably could argue about everything.
Yeah, but it comes to a point where you're arguing about nothing. So
That's
yeah.
what I mean,
You're
like
still
we're doing
making an
right
argument.
now. I don't even know why
Yes.
we're arguing prophecy at this point. All I've indicated is that their religion, the Rokan scriptures, have a prophecy about Staten Island. And you're like, well, that's fucking meaningless. And we haven't heard anything yet. For all you know, it's actually written down like at 7 p.m. at this exact date and time, a human form weapon will appear on Staten Island. Like, it could be the most on-point prophecy you have ever seen. Like, for all we know, dude came back in time from the future with like a history book, and the prophecy is just pages from that history book. Could be fucking anything. We're 5 episodes
Babylon 5
in.
style, yeah. Babylon 5 style, yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, well, I was going to say, what's his name? John something. The guy who showed up on message boards way back in the early days of the internet, pretending, ironically, to be from the future and having like specific dates and times that things would happen. And people would ask him questions, and then one day he just disappeared. Because he also was saying something about people from the future trying to get him.
One of those things.
Well, it's one of those internet mystery things that's well documented. That is more than what I'm saying, because obviously I have no real connection to it. My only real connection to it is from Steins Gate, because they use that as an example in the show, but it's also a real internet thing.
Yeah.
But my point is, we're only 5 episodes into the show lessons. This is literally the first time we've heard the prophecy ever being mentioned.
I need more. Give me more.
Literally, the rest of the show lessons.
Let's hope so.
You're like, I'm fucking done with the show. Table flip. Like, I don't know how many episodes Xam'd is. I'm going to guess 24. But literally, 19 more episodes.
Let me see. How many episodes? Xam'd. That is not a spoiler, just number of episodes. 26. So you're wrong by 2.
So still, do you have 21 episodes to figure this out in?
Yeah.
I don't think I would appreciate the show as much if it handed you all the information on the silver platter the moment it arrived. By the way, my name's Aki Nakayami. I was kidnapped as a child. Ishu raised me at a certain point after I stopped crying because she gave me a nickname that nobody else started treating me as. Like, I wouldn't be interested in that show. The prophecy makes no sense. I need more information. Fuck off.
Go ahead.
Well, to be fair, you started a 5-minute argument about it.
Oh, yeah, no, I did it, yeah. I'm taking full responsibility.
Zygon suggests that Nakayami should be chief of Tessic Village, so hidden backstory waiting to be revealed. Then hands her a 30-year-old pure Utu seed, which I think may be one of the things that she had floating in jars back in her room, just wrapped in bands or something. I swear watching their interaction was like watching the start of a brand new show that we hadn't learned anything about yet. Because again, it's the first interaction of all of like their Tessic stuff, which isn't what we've been learning about before. Also, the element that the seed, if I'm right about it being like the same thing that's in her room, then she might be growing one of those things for their ship.
A tree and a ship. Oh, that's interesting.
No, not a tree.
The spirit
yes.
of the arigato. The arigato, yeah.
Well, instead of scrolling up to remember what the name of it was, I assumed I could get by on just saying the thing and you would know what I was talking about. But instead, you jumped to tree. So, well, to be fair, we don't know what it's a seed for. It's just an Uatu seed. There's many U's in that name, so I don't know how to say it. Ututu seed, I guess. I guess I'm getting rid of a T.
Ututu.
Well, it's U2, U2, U. Utu.
Utu.
Ututu seed.
Ututu seed.
She's having a stroke. So according to the doctor, Shidara volunteered to be experimented on. Also, he took a resampled Hiroku, whatever that means, and implanted it within her. We had previously seen her staring at Kikisu, saying that she'd wait for him, so I have to assume that there was some connection there before, especially for how mad he seems to get about it. Interestingly, Kanba says that the orders come from the inside, which is why Kikisu was entrusted with an anti-human form weapon research lab with a disgraced Tessic researcher, aka himself.
Which points out that the Tessics are far more advanced than we give them credit for.
Are they?
I mean, they have if you can have a disgraced scientist, at least they have science, right? Because at first blush is like,
you can have a disgraced scientist. That doesn't mean that you're advanced.
Yeah.
If I'm out in the woods and I'm trying to figure out how to make fire for the first time, and then I've also killed a dude, so it's really a disgrace. I'm a disgrace to my family name, but I'm disgraced and a scientist. Doesn't mean that I'm more advanced than the guy living in the mansion outside the forest.
Yeah, well.
Because not for nothing, he's working on human form weapons, something that apparently we've mass produced and weaponized. So,
yeah, but not this group of people. I mean, it seems that the southern government is the one that has weaponized the human form weapons.
No,
the other side just uses power armor for it. So they haven't. That's what they do in the research.
Except that we found out that Zygon is working with the northern government, which implies that there are some Tessic working with the northern government.
And there's a whole scene
which is the side that has the human form weapons.
Yeah. But these guys are not from the northern government, are they?
Sorry, what are you talking about? The southern government is the side that this Seton Island is on, which would be the side that Kikisu is there with combo with. But I'm saying that Zygon, also a Tessic, is working with the northern government with a crew full of Tessic people.
Yes, but they're not the same people.
They are the Tessic people, though.
Yes. Okay.
And also the element that the anti-human form weapon thing is not much different from the it starts with a J. The Tessic's own anti-human form weapon group that they have.
Do the Texans have an TV?
That was referred to. Again, it was some J name I can't remember off the top of my head.
Because we suspect that it was a Tessic who went to that in those ruins
Jibarashi.
and who saw the baby, the mother pregnant, well, the dead mother who was pregnant and took out the spirit of the baby, I guess.
It's episode 5 lessons. It's episode 5, and I still haven't seen my character yet.
Go ahead.
I think they keep referring to him like in there every end episode. It's like, oh, and then he was, except for this episode. To be fair, this is the episode I don't anticipate him showing up, because it seems like this is going to be Furuishi and Haru testing for the defense forces or whatever. I guess Nakayami is Tessic for no more tears, which is where the confusion over others thinking it was her name comes from, especially if Tessic are such a small group of people for others not to know their language.
Which wonders why the captain knows the language.
Literally, I brought this up during the board discussion lessons.
I don't think she is a Tessic, though.
I literally said that it's possible that Ishu is a Tessic as well as Kikisu.
They're like new types. Everybody can be a Tessic now.
Well, legitimately, being a Tessic means wearing the face makeup, and all it seems like you have to do is take the face makeup off, and no one would know. Yeah. So legitimately, anyone could be a Tessic. Especially if you're getting human trafficked. You know, looking at the milk vendor signs, I think a lot of the text in this world might just be upside down and sometimes written in that child's misspelling way. Because I'm pretty sure the milk vendor sign was milk upside down, but also with like a couple of extra letters of somebody who like sort of knew how to spell milk.
I keep saying that it could also be Greek, in that I know that the openings.
I'm going to take that as sarcasm. Yeah. It's all Greek to me.
Yeah.
Ishu has a nickname, it seems, Writer of Crimson Revolution, which I am assuming is what you were talking about before. But you said something about Wind. So I've just quoted everyone's nickname sort of thing, and Wind never came up. Ishu has a nickname, it seems, Writer of Crimson Revolution, unless it turns out she's Tessic as well, and that's her actual name.
Johnny Longfeathers or something like that.
Well, again, you were just saying that you don't think Ishu is Tessic in the element that she knew a Tessic word for no more tears, plus has a nickname the same way that Nakayami does. So, seems to me it's a strong indication.
Yeah.
Also, she kind of dresses Tessic versus everyone else that dresses European. I don't know what the difference therein is. Oh, no, to be fair, Ishu dresses more Romani than anything else, but I would say the Tessic are somewhat of a mix of Romani and
Romani, yeah.
Well, you just said the same word I said. I was thrown by it because I was looking for something else, like not Croatian.
Romanian,
the area around Turkey is inhabited by what demographic people?
Well, it depends. In the Balkans, you mean? Mostly they are what the Russians are.
Slavic?
Slavic. Yeah. Slavic
I don't
people.
think that's right.
Yeah, it is.
Well, let's take a quick moment of edited out content.
Bosnians are Muslim.
Don't start that. I'm already on the Bosnians from Voltaire 5.
Yeah.
Turks, apparently. Turks and Kurds. So yeah, you were off.
You mean, well, you're talking about the Balkans, or you're talking about...
No, you were talking about the Balkans. I said, what's the demographic of the people that live around Turkey? And you said, well, the same as Russia. You said the same as Russia. No, you said... I thought
you said around Turkey, not in Turkey.
Lessons, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm asking about literally every country around Turkey but Turkey. Is that what you're saying? I'm asking you.
Yeah, basically that's what I understood.
Around Turkey. If I said, what's the demographics? Remember, I'm keeping this edited out, so this is just a conversation between us. What's the demographics of the area around Puerto Rico? And you're going to give me what? Everyone living in the ocean? Is that what you're going to tell me? Is that what your interpretation is? If I say everything around?
Oh, you're not saying in Puerto Rico. You're saying around Puerto Rico.
I said get in Puerto Rico, and you said fuck you. I'm getting on Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Well,
is that your argument now?
Yes, that is. All right,
that is the stupidest fucking shit you've said, Lessons. You understood what I meant, and now you're being willfully obtuse for the sake of argument.
And now you're backtracking.
I'm not messing up. If I say anything around, if you said, "Hey, where's my friend Jennifer?" and I said she's around the movie theater, you're not going to investigate everything but the movie theater. That's fucking stupid.
Well, I would go around the movie theater.
She's around the movie theater.
Alley.
I checked the dumpster out back. She wasn't there. Let's get in the fucking movie theater. You're willfully not understanding human language for some reason, and you're using it as an argument.
Theater. No, you misspoke.
I didn't misspeak. I would say this 100 times over. Well, where's Amuro right now? He's around Solomon. Oh, I better look everywhere but inside Solomon. No, he's around there. That's a general term, as in to say I don't know specifically where. He's in that general area. He's around there. And you're like, well, obviously that is an exclusive term. That means he can't be inside. He has to be around it, outside. No. A fucking idiot would say that. You're never going to be in charge of the army. Make sure you shell around that area. Well, we surrounded them, sir. You've missed. You hit everything but.
Well, because we were the.
Yeah. That's why you get the blindfold, and we're going to just ignore the Geneva Conventions to shoot you in the fucking head. This is
good.
This is dumb lessons. Yeah. This is. I don't understand how you even think that I'm trying to backtrack here. This is generally how you just use the word around. If you're not like describing the shape of an object, then it's usually that's a general area term. I mean, around there. Or, if you're talking about a subject that you're not particularly sure about, you say, oh, that's around what I meant. Again, the most galling thing all about this usually is the fact that you still think you're right. And I don't know how, because I do think you're just bullshitting me right now. The fact that you introduced the concept that you think I'm trying to backtrack from something that I've said versus I think you're bullshitting me about that you don't understand what the word around means.
You mean in the area of?
Yes, in the area of, not excluding the area of, in the area of. So if you were to say in the area of, and you want to be as pedantic as you are being right now, that includes the area within.
Yes.
Yeah, so you would investigate the movie theater. You wouldn't investigate around the movie theater.
I'll probably stand up in the front of in the movie theater waiting for whoever they happen to be.
Yeah, but this is the situation where I said, you've asked where they're at, and I said they're around the movie theater. You wouldn't say, oh, which specific theater? Are they in the bathroom? Are they at the what do you call it, the stand? Like, they could be anywhere around the movie theater. You wouldn't go, well, okay, I'm going to leave the movie theater because you said she's around it, so I'm going to investigate the entire outside of the building. Jennifer's no longer going to be your friend after I tell her the story.
No. Like, yeah, sure.
I don't even remember what started this. Around Turkey, and you wanted the demographics of every country that surrounds Turkey instead of Turkey itself.
Yeah.
In fact, you moved over to Russia, to fucking Russia, for your demographics.
If you move north across the Black Sea is Ukraine, which is Slavic.
You're literally crossing a sea to get away from the country that I asked you the demographics for.
Across from to the west is Greece.
Also, I would say I was asking for around Turkey because demographics tend to not follow national borders because people migrate.
South of it would be Turkish, it would be Muslim. Well, that's a religion.
I literally already told you. Turk is the primary demographic of Turkey.
And Kurds.
Yes, I said that. It was the second most populous.
Syria, northern Syria, northern Iraq, yeah.
Oh, right. I was asking that because I was specifically trying to figure out what demographic I thought that the Tasik people most matched, and I think I was going for a mix of Romani and Turk. Historical Turk, not modern-day Turk, obviously. Because I'm talking like when you look at images of old dress styles of Turkish people. Say 1300s. Things like that. Yeah, I don't know how much I'm going to leave that in. Just so people can see the bullshit that you put me through. Maybe I'll start a poll. Like, I don't want this to go away. If I said around, what would you think I meant? You started 2 long-lasting arguments today, Lessons.
As I do.
I'm tired of doing. I choose violence. ironic given the message of Gundam Wing.
Yeah, well,
I'm literally in the middle of editing the last episode of Gundam Wing that we did, where I went on a whole tirade about how stupid pacifism is and how it inherently hurts people around you. So I literally just heard my own tirade against pacifism. So again, ironic that you chose this today.
You have more notes?
Yeah, I have plenty. Maybe quit distracting me with the definitions of around. Actually, I have one more note. You know, before Shidra turned into a human form weapon, it was a really sad scene. More so when she was lamenting about her parents being dead, or sorry, more so than when she was lamenting about her parents being dead. For some reason, it always gets me hearing a sad character say, "I want to go home now." That's just one of my triggers for sadness, I guess. Like, even reading it myself right now, I feel right here, I want to go home now. You know, it's the same thing I brought up when starts with a K, Gundam character, Kika. When Kika starts crying and I want to go home now, it's just, that's the thing. It hits me every time. It just,
her home for her was a white base. It wasn't even Site 7.
It doesn't matter.
It was white base.
It doesn't matter what your home is. It's that element of
but it's sad. It's doubly sad because
it's not lessons. It's not for the same reason. For me, again, I'm only saying for me. If you want to explain your particular emotional set here, again, this is my note and I'm still in it, so I'm trying to get my thought process out before I give up the floor to a new speaker. For me, it's the element of just that inherent sadness of wanting to get away from the situation that you're in and wanting to go somewhere familiar and safe, and then particularly for a person who doesn't even have that, because as we know, Shidra doesn't have a home. It's been destroyed. Her parents are dead. And that's why I'm saying, for me, the element that you're talking about, white base being the only home that Kika has, as being extra sad, not to me, because the element of Shidra's parents being dead doesn't add to my sadness. I actually, sadly, don't feel very much about that element. For me, it's the element of her being in such a place that she is lamenting, I want to go home, to a place that she can no longer return to. And just the inherent sadness involved in that. That's what triggers me. Not any of the outside shit. That is all just shit icing on a shit cake.
I think losing your parents is also adds to it.
As I just said, disagree.
Yeah.
But again, I'm only describing my emotional outlook. Maybe I'm jaded. I mean, we went through the whole thing about Camille the other day with Gundam Zeta, and really held back on wanting to spew out my own life story about why I fucking hate Camille and how much of his life sort of aligns with mine. But I don't know. That's therapy talk. That's also not wanting to dox myself or make anybody in my life who might hear that one day feel bad about how I'm describing shit. But because, you know, there might be I imagine some therapist somewhere would be like, well, that's just like self-recrimination or something. You're seeing in you what you see in that character, and it makes you hate yourself. Blah, 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 blah. Well, fuck that guy.
I'm not a psychiatrist, so I can't say that.
Well, I've actually been to therapy, and that whole, if you imagine yourself talking to a younger you, what do you say? That sort of shit. And that's literally why I left therapy. But I hear that actually works for some people, so if it works for you, I'm not mocking you. Not all therapy works for everybody. No. Clearly, I would hate my younger self, which I guess is the indication I'm getting from Camille. Maybe I'm making some breakthroughs here watching Gundam Zeta. Maybe Gundam Zeta has some inherent worth.
Talk it out. Keep going.
Yeah,
keep going,
all on recording. Make sure it really gets out there on the internet. No, I'm just saying that maybe there is an element there of things I don't care about are only very specific to me, and I understand that always to be true. Because, you know, it's media. You ingest media on a very personal basis. There is the populist version of media where we all like certain things, but there's also the ways that you feel about the media that you ingest, which can be really only you. Like, was it sophilism? Where you believe that you're the only thing that exists because you're the only one that can prove that you exist to yourself. You can't prove that anybody else's thoughts are real because you can't think them or feel them or experience them. That your ingestion of media, you are the only one who can ever feel the way you feel about it because you're the only one who can ever know what that feels like.
Yeah, materialism. as well. As you're limited to your senses and experiences, you cannot know more beyond that. So
Well, that's why hospitals use a pain chart, 1 through 5. You know, we all seem to decide that the same thing is the same thing. However, some people feel pain differently. We all agree that blue is blue because we all look at a picture and point the blue part out because we all identified that as that. However, some people have different sight problems, and to them, blue is just a different shade of gray, or a shade of green, or red sometimes.
Just a little bit colorblind. Back to it, shall we? And that was your last note. As you said earlier, we don't have any comments. I think it's time to get into the show.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
And again, her foot beat there, we saw literally last episode.
I was going to say something. Yeah.
Well, I hope you continue to say something. It's the opening. We had to talk over it.
Yes, yeah.
And then I
want to get the soundtrack for this, because if it's all English, it'll be interesting.
I mean, it's not really my thing, but I like it better than some of the openings we've gotten so far.
Yeah.
Obviously not specifically for this show. I mean, amongst the shows that we're watching. But again, a bunch of them I just have no feeling for. Like, I can't really...
Although it doesn't seem to be... It seems a little... The song... I like the song, but it seems a bit generic. Doesn't seem as specific about, you know...
I don't know if it feels generic.
About the show so far.
My guy, who hasn't shown up yet. I mean, the element is that amongst all the music that I've listened to lately, not even specifically for anime, nothing that I've listened to sounds like this. Mm-hmm. So calling it generic would be, I mean, maybe for you, obviously, because I'm talking experiential. Not to me. But then you like electronica.
I think generic is it doesn't seem to be very specific to the...
Sure it does. If these characters are expected to run away... Yeah, remember Furuichi said he was going to try and apply. Okay, so the suits are basically just human form weapons too. I like that the thing going into the machine also looks like a spinal column. Also, this gives me heavy Avatar vibes.
Oh, you're the main soul.
Well, she's saying the advice comes from a veteran main soul.
Yeah. Well, I thought the term itself, you know.
Cool. Now you're ready to play Sword Art Online. Also, it seems weird to me that Kikisu is wearing the spurs on his boots, as though he's expecting to ride a horse. Like how they lined it up with the pillar in the back.
明日の実機搭乗試験の結果以下で後日爪原峠での遠征研修へ参加となる旨通達済みです。あの二人新武道をたしなむ高校生の男女、どうやら行方不明となった竹原隆三の息子、その同級生のようですね。
Well, I thought I was going to say Shidra. I guess I also know the name of that martial art that they were doing in episode 1.
その紙。
ああ、これですか？先端島にいい美容院がなくって。昨日。
Yeah, because it got bombed.
スカンが。
ん？
亡き母を思い出す。
That's like your problem, man. Unless you tell me it's your my problem, that's because you're my commanding officer.
北の空爆があったらしいじゃない。今は日の出段階の警戒網だ。高度を落として進めばいい。
Police or military? I guess they're one the same.
Well, they said police. Police could imply a local affair versus a military implying a broader affair. Well, you know what they say. Where there's smoke, there's a reason not to go that direction.
Yeah, it has the same.
Oh, I mean, it's the captain's ship.
邪魔になるみたいなんで、俺仕事続けます。
邪魔になるから行けって言ってんだ。その子が寄り道しないように、お前が稼になるんだよ。
Or running off, as per last episode.
Never mind.
Throw him off. Throw him off the edge. I'm sure she'll catch you. What'd I say? I think we all saw this coming. Remember, he's the one who has a poster of her in his bed.
Yeah.
Also, some amazing strength to be able to catch yourself falling at that degree and still hold on. The old prince and the princess technique.
Yeah.
The prince and the princess hate each other too much. We lock them away in a palace together until they fall in love.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we didn't take a note about that. They said last episode she can hear the voices of human form weapons. Oh shit, I forgot to take that note too. Shidra didn't turn into a rock like all the other dead human form weapons do.
That's true.
Well, you can see one right here.
Yeah.
I guess that's a note for you, the viewer. I did recognize that didn't happen. I just forgot to take the note. She also mentioned, kind of reminds me of 86. Undertaker in 86 could also hear the Machine's stolen brains voices. Ironically, one of them begging to go home. I guess it's kind of like the biological version of 86. Literally, we've seen her knock the rocks away with her staff before. Yeah, what she's doing right now. Is his hand completely white? Yep. I bet you she's gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
She's trying to save the human form weapon, and he's going to like, kill it. Whoops, accidentally cut off your ankles. See? This is the biological version of 86. This is literally a scene from 86.
Oh, she's gonna smack him around, isn't she?
無事でよかったよ。君が怪我でもしたら船長に殺される。
お前が邪魔をしなければあの人型は解体できた。
え？
腕を見せてみろ。
You think that maybe that's what she's growing in those
や
jars?
はりか。
Is it the pieces of the human form weapons that she's dismantling?
It's those?
Well, that there's a part of them
Yeah.
that she can save. Maybe that's what the thing is, that little thing from the other ship.
共に生きる。お前は天神様にそう言っていたはずだ。
でも、あのままじゃ君が。
人型は別か。都合がいいな。
Shut up, bitch. Sorry, it's the element of I chose you over it. I didn't know it.
Yeah.
I know you.
全然わかんねえや。
What do you want me to do? Cut its arms and legs off and then let you do the thing? Would that be kinder?
やはり無理か。姿形は大きいですが、プラーナーズではやはり ASP の方が勝っています。
Not Piranha Force.
脊髄触手は指向性が高く、現実的に考えても逆流した生命電流には耐えられないでしょう。
Can't withstand this, listen.
夢がないな。
Oh, yeah.
緊張してる？
Of course. It's gonna come back to life.
Well, yeah, but that could be a good thing.
あ？
That implies that once they're rockified, they're not dead. And as per the thing, we just literally learned from Nakayami that they're also possibly still people. It's essentially like in a zombie movie if we find out that we can de-zombify people. It's a good thing. You'd be like, why is Frankenstein working on the zombies again?
民間船の渡航禁止はいつ解けるかわからないでしょ。軍に入れば島の外に出られると思ったの。そしたら秋雪のことなんかわかるかもしれないし。
Her, the remaining witness of what happened. Well, her and that guy that tried to shoot Akiyuki, who apparently is not a main character.
また明日。
Yeah, you just got shut down, dude. I mean, there's no guarantee that the army will send her where she needs to go, right?
She hasn't graduated yet. Remember, tomorrow is the live fire exercise. I can't remember if he made that promise before everything happened. I'm confused because I got a similar thing in my head from Visions of Escaflowne, where there's a character that does the same thing.
Oh, he got the letter.
Well, okay, I'll say, we heard the contents of that, I don't know.
すぐには先端島に帰ることができません。でもちゃんと戻ります。必ず帰ります。だからお元気で。西村春様。追伸、そういえば俺が春に手紙書くなんてこれが初めてだ。緊張。
Also, miss?
He's being respectful.
Why?
お願い。私の声。秋雪に。
First letter I've written you, but
The
I've written you
Sama
17 other
it's
letters.
not really. It could be Miss, but it also be like more like princess, right?
I doubt that. That's equally the wrong direction.
He's being formal, basically. That's what.
Yeah,
you are,
again,
especially if
why?
you're the first letter. First letter, though.
人型って敵だよね。泣き闇が言ってたんだ。殺すんじゃない。解体するんだって。解体？お色気話か？違うよ。ま、人型つっても元は生き物だがな。
Technically,
They
they
are
still
living
are.
things.
あれは
Yeah.
政府が自分たちで培養したヒルゴを生き物に
See, I told you, Northern government.
未完成の兵器だ。
そんなひどいこと。
じゃあ、そいつを殺したお前はもっとひでえな。
I mean, why is it worse?
Again, lessons. I already described to you why it's bad. You know, right after I said, shut up, bitch. Nakayami.
襲われりゃ命惜しさで戦うしかねえさ。でも泣き闇は助けようとしてる。自分の危険も顧みねえでな。
Oh, there we go. I was right. Well, I guess I was right and I was wrong. And that I said this other thing that was right. And my previous note was wrong.
予想通りか。どうしたこんな時間に。
こんばんは、龍蔵先生。
Well, you know, your son's alive.
飲みたくないわ。あんたの方が出てきなさいよ。早く。生きてました。どこにいるかは詳しくわからないけど。
わざわざありがとな。
それもしよかったら。
I'm glad they're not the kind of parents that would be like, how we know this isn't someone playing a prank on us.
はい。
ありがとう、はるちゃん。
Yeah, the mother noticed.
と思ってくれて。そろそろおいとまします。
I guess she's playing up something here by bringing them both together to have the information.
何も喋ってないわよ。とにかく秋雪の居場所調べてみる。手がかりが見つかるかもしれないし。
バラドール戦役を覚えているか ?17 年前。
The one that you saved Kikisu at, right?
あの戦いに俺は軍医として従軍した。北政府側についてな。
昔から俺はバカだった。どうせそういう話でしょ。
たくさんの兵が目の前で傷を負い、俺は1分1秒の延命を望み治療した。だがな、敵を阻めない彼ら
I turned into human form
俺が
weapons.
生きることを教えてしまった彼らを、軍は人型兵器の実験体にしたんだ。
話長そうだから一旦座るわ。
俺は知らずのうちに北の実験に加担していた。恨まれるならまだいい。それなのに泣いて感謝されたんだ。そんな男の息子が人型に襲われて天罰かもしれんな。
And this is a good show.
今から50分間実機試験を行う。
They
Surprised
look
I
like
never heard of
realistic
it.
divorced parents, right? You know,
Well,
they're
yeah,
not
she's
living
not
together,
actually like.
but they're still friends. You know.
Well, I don't know about the friends thing, but it's the element of they have, you know, a joint thing to be responsible for, their son. And she's not like, I'm just going to be angry for anger's sake and storm off. Like, ah, fine, I'll fucking listen to this.
7番合格登場。
はい。
Dude, I think you should run.
実験体ザムドが
Yeah, the mother that was protecting the daughter.
全員
Oh, where's the daughter at?
一斉起動。 接続。
Yeah, certainly I want to mix my matrix technology with cathode ray tubes.
Like I said, kind of steampunky diesel punk technology.
I don't know,
They
this is
have here.
beyond that. Like I said, it's a mixture of matrix and steampunk, which is not even steampunk. This is more like,
Diesel punk.
no, it's not diesel punk either. It's just retro tech.
ことだ博士。
Oh, schizo tech to be precise.
高速差を
Well, no, I mean, it's like 1950s, 1960s technology mixed with more advanced technology. You know, he grabbed him by instinct, not because he cared.
また何かしたのか。成果とはいつでもしくじりの山の頂に気づかれるものですよ。
Well, no shit, yeah.
油圧管制を呼び出せ。核兵器を閉鎖させろ。
This feels like a scene right out of Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
The summons has come to life, and you're like in the window, just with the thing in the background doing a thing.
気になるな。模倣にしては長すぎる。
外線からも確認してみますね。
If you need me, I'll be way out there.
採点には響かん。このまま待機。大丈夫でしょう。念のため3番核兵器まで。
Yeah.
Maybe
that
let it
doesn't
get past
include the
this
glass
barrier
window
wall
that you're
first.
in. Yeah. Oops.
Stilettos. Mom was wearing stilettos that day. No, never mind. The
I
baby's
think
part
I
of
saw
it.
the daughter.
通過されました上にその旨
It literally walked past the door. It didn't even breach it. It's just like, eh. Wow, these doors are pretty slow because he's just walking past it.
No, I think the people activating them are pretty slow.
Yeah.
Because one place gets the call, and then the other place has to wait to get the call before they activate for some reason.
2番各駅を突破していきましたこのまま地上に出たら3番各駅了解しました
See? They gotta wait to be told.
Yeah. I think they would be automatic, right?
No, because again, we're a mix
my-
of like 50s to 60s tech and a more advanced tech. Whatever can fail will be the 50s to 60s tech, which is to say we all have rotary phones.
どっちが勝つか
In a short race, it's a hair.
うんともすんとも
Yeah.
どっこもつながりません
The only reason the tortoise won is because it was a long race.
実験体は活動を停止した模様です
It's just staring at
捕
us.
獲しろはい警戒レベル低に落とせ
Oh my god. Yeah, that's the baby inside the
つながりました
mother.
研究施設でトラブルが
Well, I think it's more like it merged with it.
現在はレベル低の警戒状態です
ならば問題なかろうそれでは試験に戻る
Because again, it was implied that the mother was shielding the baby, not that she was pregnant and it was like shielding her own belly.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Oh, see, that's a subversion. I thought that they were going to mysteriously get into a fight. Not mysteriously, just spontaneously get into a fight with it.
こりゃ死にますね泡を吹いてる勝手にさせろ
Those two things
No,
don't go
that's not
together.
foaming. Yeah, it doesn't seem like they're foaming at the mouth at all. That's where the beam goes.
Yeah, but this was
Dude,
coffee
you're
time.
facing. Yeah, That's weird because they're like, this is a giant thing that could. It's supposed to be a weapon, and you're like, that's funny. Yeah, that's what I expected would happen. You moron.
Well, I guess it's not a subversion. We're going to get exactly what I was talking about.
一体何があ何もないわけないよな全員そのまま平静を心がけよう戦場はこの騒然の日ではない
Battlefields are all about chaos.
Well, also, these aren't
Yeah.
even trainees yet. They're still applying to the program.
連絡でも活動は停止したと
残った握り実弾を装備させる中佐に許可を
対処できるんですか
あるしかあるまいなすすべは一つ生き残った ASP スーツそのメインソウルの精神力にかけてもらうしかない
Huh. So, literally, the final scene of the next time on was the final scene of this episode, much in the
Yeah.
tradition of Gundam Seed.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good show.
Yeah, the fact that you mentioned that they're still living beings, and now this thing. Wow. Oof.
Like I said, although I don't know, because again, my indication was that there was maybe a way to save them, but it seems like the disassembling thing that Nakayami is doing is turning them into the, I want to say Ouroboros. It's an O word that I can't suddenly remember all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Talk over the ending lessons.
I know, because is that comet supposed to be something dropping from the sky, right?
I don't know. It could be a Your Name thing.
Yeah.
Wait, you've never seen Your Name. As
No.
per a conversation and comment response we gotten before. The thing about Your Name is that people are connected by the comet going overhead, and then there's a whole thing that I'm not going to
Yeah.
spoil about it. It could just be the connection between the two, or it could just be Nakayami flying overhead on her thing.
Yeah.
Ungoro. The Ungoros
Ungoro.
could be the things that she's taking from the when she's
The
disassembling
soul.
the human form weapons. The Ungoro could be the remains of the person inside.
Yeah, the soul of them.
Well, because the element is that That thing is a fucking kaiju. It's giant. There's no way you're going to
Yeah.
take the person from inside of it.
春に会うため向かった鉱山デコボコ道で秋雪が出会ったのは石をめでる一組のデコボコ親子。次回吉律背負うは命か猫股かザムドが歩けば人型野郎にぶち当たる。
I'm going to assume it's an ancient human form weapon that is turned into actual stone as opposed to what the artificial human form weapons of the northern government do, which is turn into rocky, breakable stone.
Yeah. Crystals, really.
Well, again,
Crystalline formation. Yeah.
No, I get what
If
you're
it's the
saying.
red.
I used to collect those things. The, what do you call them? I mean, there are crystals, but I mean, they form on the inside of rocks where water has seeped in over a long period of time.
Quartz? No. not
Geodes.
quartz.
Um,
Geodes, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're actually quartz geodes, but whatever. Yeah. I mean, that could be the thing, but they have described it, or none of them described it. They've called it stone, so I'm just assuming stone. And again, the element that the northern government created their version of human form weapons, which means it's like an imitation of the other human form weapons. That again, this might just be an ancient defeated human form weapon of the original variety.
An ancient civilization. Maybe the one that
No, I think it's a Tessic. The original,
Tessic,
the
yeah.
Tessics did it originally. I guess the equivalency that I'm going for here is you played Final Fantasy VII.
Yes.
What were the ancients called? Were they just called ancients? No, they had their own name.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was
Yeah, I
called.
don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, they had their own ancient civilization. You know, that sort of thing. That they lived one with harmony and nature and everything like that. But they had their own specific problem that came around. That's this sort of thing. That the Tessics probably had their own thing before they got scattered to the winds.
Now they want it back, maybe?
No, they want their Holy Land back, as we covered already in the notes. And that sowing chaos is a son of a thing.
Everybody's fighting everyone else, so leave them alone. That's
No, how are we all different? Always different on what we're thinking about what's going on. I think Sonova's thing about sowing chaos is that so she can collect souls to then create human form weapons for the purpose of retaking the homeland. Essentially, when dead bodies are your ammunition or the source of your ammunition, it behooves you to create more dead bodies.
yeah.
Although, ironically. So I'm just thinking, Girl, I love the show. I can't remember the name all of a sudden. Has an amazing opening made by the same animators as Hellsing. Drifters. Odo Nobunaga in Drifters, in the fantasy world that he gets isekai'd to. His whole thing is, let's put all the dead bodies in a pit so that I can create saltpeter to then create gunpowder. I can't remember the specific ingredient he needs for gunpowder that he gets from the dead bodies, but that's part of the element. So I was tying the two things together. If dead bodies are the source of your ammunition, then it behooves you to create more dead bodies. Sort of a thing that I also felt that Odo Nobunaga was doing. Drifters is such a good show. Maybe one day I'll solo react to it or something again. Even though I've seen it already. Again, things I've never done over again with a serious context. Also, the fact that it kind of peters off, ironically.
Yeah.
That's when I keep telling you where Jesus is the bad guy.
Okay.
Well, because it's
interesting.
yeah, you know how like Read or Die is a OVA series that has like historical figures as the villains?
Mhm.
Or I know there's another show that's a good example of it. Drifters is the same thing. You die, you're an famous historical person, you get isekai'd, or you go down a hallway with like a lot of doors. There's a guy at a desk who's just smoking, reading a newspaper, and he sends you through one of the doors, and it goes to a fantasy world that has elves and dwarves and everything. Unfortunately, humans who are being isekai'd has fucked this place up. There's an empire that was created by Hitler, because Hitler was one of the first people to come here. They don't call him by name, but there's like, they refer to him like it's the great man, and then there's just a picture of Hitler in the background. It's like, okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, well, he's dead. He killed himself again, apparently, in this world. So it's pretty funny that, but yeah, like Joan of Arc, Odo Nobunaga, a lot of them are like really ancient historical figures, but they also have like Jesse James and Billy the Kid. Carthage was ruled by.
I mean, not ruled by. You're talking about the general. Oh my God!
Yeah, the one that
the guy lost
went
his
over
eyes.
the elephants.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
Okay,
we can't remember obviously, but he's there, and one of the Roman leaders is there. It's not Caesar, but it's yeah. Like they hate each other, but they're, and also one of them is pissing themselves because like they're really old. Like they're both really old versions of themselves. So they're kind of like a little bit of Alzheimer's dementia going on, so they don't really recognize what's going on. But every so often they get like moments of clarity. No, Alexander is Greek, or actually he was not Greek. He was Macedonian. They get like moments of clarity where they'll like give real good insight on like what they should do to the politics of the military campaign, and then they'll like piss themselves like too fucking old. It's great. But the thing is that Jesus is really pissed off that he got crucified and killed. So essentially, he's leading like the goblin and like the demi-human armies that are leading the charge against the human realms of and
the
elves.
Son of God is in. Well, it reminds me of an SNL skit like the Son of God.
Some of these people have like powers based on what their thing is. Like, ironically, Joan of Arc has like flame powers because she was burnt at the stake. So now in this isekai, she's got like flame abilities. Well, Jesus's power is healing. But you know how you weaponize healing, right?
How do you weaponize
cancer?
Healing?
He over-heals you. Like, the dragon comes down, and I don't remember why it's attacking or anything, but he, like, heals the dragon, and it, like, gets all these lumps all over it, and it's, like, fucking cancer-ridden. Jesus will cancer you to death. And by the way, it's never actually said that it's Jesus. It's just very much, like, he's like a hooded figure, he isn't anything, but he's got like the stigmata or the nail things through the hands, and there's a lot of elements there. You can figure out it's fucking Jesus. No, it's great. It's got an amazing art style. As I said, it's the same art people that do Hellsing. And oh god, the theme song. I think it's like 5 minutes to midnight, something like Power of the Muscle or something like that. It's a song that I think it's supposed to be thematically about drifting, actually car drifting, whatnot. But it's an amazing song, and it's a good narrative. Like, the dwarves are actually enslaved, and our main characters like free them from enslavement, and then Oda Nobunaga gets them to start making guns.
Hannibal. We're talking about Hannibal.
Yeah.
It was just bothered me so much I had to Google it. I was like, damn it, I'm feeling dumb.
I was fine because in my head I've just got the image of him from the show, so I didn't actually need a name to go with. But it's
Hannibal Barker.
It's great. Oh yeah, and also the one I always get confused because sometimes I get it mixed up with Gate in my head. You have a guy, one of the Japanese dogfighters from World War II. He gets brought over in his dogfighting jet. It seems like he died in the middle of dogfighting and just got like instantly into the other world, and then he crash lands into like a realm full of like cat people who treat him as a sky god. So like they form a little shrine out of his I want to call it a zero because it probably was a zero.
It could be a Kate or something like that.
And he thinks they're talking American, as he says, because he only knows Japanese. Like, you carry everything over. You don't like just instantly learn every new language or anything. The Japanese people all don't understand the English people at all. And apparently there's a guy with the opening shows an admiral, a Japanese admiral, with an aircraft carrier. There's no indication of just him. Is everyone on the aircraft carrier? He doesn't appear in the show. So
just that guy. No,
it's just very interesting. I like the idea of just a fantasy world that's getting overrun by famous historical people. Like, what was that? What was that show? It was literally what if nations were people?
Westphalia was
no. You're so close. At the end, you get the end right.
Yeah.
Now I think it's Raftalia, the character from Shield Hero.
No.
No, it is Talia. Something Talia.
Talia.
I think.
Yeah, I know what you mean. In Brazil and Greece and everywhere
Yeah,
else.
it's kind of like if we did that show, but made it an isekai. It's great. I love it. I wish there was more, but unfortunately, after the first season of the show ended, they did like 3 extra episodes over like the course of a couple of years, and then nothing else.
Well, oops. Ran out of budget. That sucks.
I don't know why, actually. I don't think it was a budget thing. The show looks so amazing, I don't think you would think they didn't have a budget.
Could be the manga. They ran out of the manga. If it was originally a manga.
I think so. Well, anyway, anything else you want to say? Yeah, I know something Italia. Anyway, anything else you want to say about Xam'd?
It was a pretty good episode. It's just there's so much to cover. Every new episode is like, oh, this is gonna happen. This is the thing. And what I found funny is like, oh yeah, the thing is escaping. Let's drink some coffee.
Well, no, he's drinking coffee because he thinks it's been subdued.
Yeah.
Like, it's not doing anything hostile, and it's just sitting there.
Yeah, but they close the door. Oh, it's subdued. It's fine. It's like, this is a giant monster that you call human form weapons. What do you mean it's subdued just because you close the door? Like,
because it's not doing anything.
Still, you would think you want to try to,
do what? What would you do? You've got nothing set up to do anything. All you can do is look at it. Maybe call in a team of concrete people to like concrete seal the area around it, but it could rip through that if it wanted to. The only thing literally you can do is watch it. I assume he made the coffee. I assume he's made the coffee before the thing started spraying stuff all over the place. Or that dude who's like responsible for this window area had made coffee himself. He was like, "You want some coffee?" And he was like, "What else am I gonna do?"
It seems so incongruous. Like
it just makes it. I mean, lessons. My problem here is like I don't know what you expect them to do. They're gonna crawl out there and start crawling around it with ropes like it's Gulliver from Gulliver's Travels. Like what's the plan?
I think so. I'm trying to find a way to neutralize it or something.
With what? This hallway doesn't seem like it's set up for like fire suppression or anything. It doesn't can't spray anything.
Or get your soldiers ready with weapons. Just
they were shooting at it the moment it broke out, and that did fuck all.
Yeah, because they're using rifles, and we're not using like their main weapon.
They have like 2 of those left, and they were all well. By the time it breaks out, it disables a bunch of them to the point there's only 2 of them left. But all they were prepared for was the test people that they had that day, and those test people weren't even ready.
They fought them in the street. They have more of those.
No, not here. This is the test area, apparently built on top of the base where they were keeping that thing. They say they only have 2 left, and it's the 2 that our 2 characters are in.
Well, if you know you have that there, you should have more weapons than just some guys with rifles. Again, they're dumb. They're just dumb.
Lessons. If they did that, then the plot couldn't happen.
Oh, so they picked up that idiot ball. Okay, sure, fine, whatever. Yeah.
No. I think it's also an element that's just like a secret thing. If you put too much out there, then you advertise its existence.
Yeah, but again, at some point when you're dealing with, it's like, oh yeah, we have a nuclear weapon. Do you have any shielding for it?
Well, it's not a weapon; it's a test subject.
Well, and what are they testing?
I think your element is that if you're like swimming out in the ocean and you get attacked by a shark and you start calling the shark a weapon, it's like, no, it's just a thing that's out here. The shark isn't a weapon, it's a natural disaster, maybe.
They were testing a weapon, or
no, they weren't. They were testing the thing to see if they could get the rocks off. To see if they could get the thing off of it. Otherwise, it's a test subject. They brought it in as a test subject, not as a weapon. And they weren't trying to weaponize it.
It is already a weapon.
It's not already a weapon. It's an accident. And I don't mean that it's breaking out and attacking people. I mean the element of what happened in the subway system that made it into what it is. That was like a terrorist accident. That is from the result of the cult. The cult did the same thing that happened to Akiyuki, and they made that. These people did not make this thing. This is not their weapon. This is the victim of a terrorist attack that they are experimenting on.
Which means that it could be a weapon, because they were like, "Oh,
fuck you, Lessons. This is around a weapon. This is around a weapon. Does that in your fit in your vocabulary? This fit in your vocabulary?
Yeah.
It's everything but a weapon because it's around a weapon. We talk in your language.
Okay.
Do I need to learn Greek?
It's dumb. It's just
Yeah,
they
it's
picked up
not
the idiot
dumb.
wrong.
Again, you're considering it a weapon because of all the human form weapons we've met. Those are creations of the North intended to fight. This is a victim of the cultists' terrorist attack, like we saw in the very first episode of the show, which is not a creation to make a weapon of war by the Northern government. This is, in fact, the Southern government experimenting on a terrorist victim, and apparently, as I said before, trying to bring them back. Again, this is like if you found a shell-shocked soldier and you started doing psychological experiments on them to try and snap them out, like Awakenings or something, and you're like, well, they're a soldier, they're a weapon. It's like, no, we're trying to bring them fucking back.
I don't think they were trying to bring them back.
Yes, Lessons, it's the thing I said during the entire fucking episode, where they're trying to break the rocks off of it. They're not trying to turn it into a weapon, because it wasn't a weapon before. Also, that would be insane to try and turn some random terrorist victim into a weapon, and the first act you do is to try and de-rock it. No, the first thing you would try to do is tap into its mind to then turn it into a weapon. It's not a weapon.
It is now.
It's not a weapon in the same way that Akiyuki is not a weapon. This is like superhero origin story shit, except this is like the negative side, right? This is the person that the mysterious asteroid fell next to, and instead of getting superpowers, got skin cancer. And you're like, that person's a fucking weapon. They're gonna kill us all. You're the Lex Luthor in this argument. You understand? Except where Lex Luthor is intelligent, you're just crazy. You are, what's his name? What's the one that made the DC universe before James Gunn came recently to redo it?
Snyder.
Yeah, you're the Zack Snyder Batman. If there's a 1% chance this monster's against us, there's a 100% possibility. That's your point of view right now. You're calling a victim, a mother and child victim.
They already experimented on someone else who turned into a human form weapon. So, yeah, I think they were.
Yeah, that was a completely different thing. That's them putting the thing into them. This is them trying to take something off of a thing. I think you're reading negative, not ambition, negative, sorry, the word just totally escaped me the moment I thought of it.
Intention?
Yeah, negative intentions where they might not possibly exist.
I think they do.
I think that this doctor is disgraced because of what he did back in the war, in the same way as the Akiyuki's dad is disgraced for what he did back in the war. But I feel like this is going to be the good side that's trying to make up for what they did in the past, which is why he wants that doctor back again, because he probably knows what he feels about it. That they're trying to find a way to reverse what they've done to bring those people back that they negatively affected back then, and that you can only see what they did. God, this is the Gundam argument all over again. You want justice against these people because you see what they did 7 years ago, was it? And will not let them try to pursue R word.
Redemption?
Yeah, redemption. I don't know, my brain just stopped working all of a sudden. It's got the concept of what I want to say, but it just won't get there.
I would see, but they're not. I don't think so.
Again, because you can only see them as villains. There's a 1% chance Superman is against us.
You could be proven right.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've got 21 more episodes. Again, what does the scripture stand for? 21 episodes, Lessons. You got to give it some time. You can't solidify your thoughts that these people are one way when we've literally experienced, I think, Kanba, like, maybe all of 10 minutes across 5 episodes. I think that's what I would do, right? If I wanted everyone to think that this guy was evil from the get-go and then, subvert that later, I would show them doing something that failed first. Like, we don't know what he was really up to with her. It might have been a completely different thing. It turned out bad. Like, she may have escaped from the facility before he was done and then fell victim to, completely unpreparedness. But then again, I know you're never going to agree with me on that because that falls to the same argument as the Fate Zero argument that girl caused her own fate.
No, I think that
Because you think the doctor there was setting her up for the thing, when in fact she kind of broke into the thing that he forgot to lock. Or actually, she was supposed to lock it too. She took the thing she wasn't supposed to take and suffered the consequence. It'd be like if you were working at a medical research center and just started taking the medications that you were researching without any care for the fact that they've been put away specifically not to be taken by human hands. You start blaming the research facility when it's your fault.
If you're a trained researcher, yeah, it would be. But in this case...
Yeah, in this case, if you're the janitor working at the research center and you just decided, oh, that door's unlocked, I'm going to start taking all... Yeah, take that for a gift. But you should start taking all of the medications. Then I still think it's on you. Like,
demon vampire,
you're the reason why safety warnings are on shit. So at some point, personal responsibility, I think, is here. Well, how was I supposed to know I couldn't make toast in the bathtub? Well, maybe you and your kin shouldn't be eating toast for the rest of your lives. And I think God sorted that out for the rest of us. How was I know I shouldn't use the surfboard off the roof? Well, again, maybe there's a reason the dead are dead.
Anywho, yeah, those are my thoughts on the episode.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, then, I guess that is it for today. So once again, I have been Theta. This has been Around Lessons, and this has been Stone-Faced Reactions. We will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?